Hi, welcome to this week's video. My name's Joni Creed. As we're talking about the 20th century, I wanted to talk to you about how Christianity meets media. So how did we communicate the gospel before the 20th century? Well, church leaders used their innate skills to be able to draw in members. They rallied them in churches, camps, missions. But then as we moved into the 20th century, many leaders were able to channel their influence and their abilities through mainstream media outlets, such as well-renowned evangelist Billy Graham. Okay, so how did these church leaders reach their intended audience? Well, mainstream media pretty much consisted of magazine, radio, and finally television. Okay, radio was a little bit difficult because there wasn't any visuals for listeners. So those who pioneered preaching and they were doing it on the radio, they had to be able to really think imaginatively. Here are two such early radio pioneers. Reverend Charles Coughlin. He was given the nickname Radio Priest. And his congregation was given the nickname the Radio League of the Little Flower because he was based out of Little Flower, which was in Michigan. And then Bishop Fulton Sheen was considered the first televangelist. He gained a massive audience. In fact, it was stated that he had about 23% of audience compared to other programs at that time. He spent about 2 decades preaching the gospel on the radio before moving to television. The rising power of televangelism. The Bakers, Joel Osteen, those are just a few examples of how media, such as television, allowed the word to be spread worldwide and gain an enormous amount of followers. Two very notable leaders over the past several decades were Billy Graham and Fulton Sheen. And both of these men gained many, many followers by using different media outlets to spread the gospel. The message I preach hasn't changed. Circumstances have changed. Problems have changed, but deep inside, man has not changed. And the gospel hasn't changed. That was a quote by Billy Graham, and that's the message that he had spent his life trying to teach us about. And he took to media to spread the word. One of the most effective evangelists that the broadcasting era had produced, this was a quote from the New York Times in regards to Bishop Fulton J. Sheen, who used television to promote his religious as well as his political views, as he had some views about communism, and he was wanting to warn people about that. So how did we get from preaching to small groups to preaching to massive audiences? Well, that was due to global media through not just magazines, but radio, and then eventually that was replaced by television. Thank you for watching.